Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle, for those of you who I don't know. I'm a yoga teacher and personal trainer in the Boston area. And today I'm going to share with you a yoga practice that I like to call strength and ease. We're going to create a little bit of that core focus to begin, work on opening up the side bodies, and you should feel perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll just need to find yourself a nice clear space, get some comfortable clothes on. For props, I recommend having a block or something like a block if you have something at home. It's nice to have a little extra padding for underneath your knees and any pillows, extra pillows, or any extra support if you want to get all nice and restorative in our Shavasana. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Join me on my mat. All right, let's find your way towards a comfortable seat. Any comfortable seat of your choice. Take a moment to clear the flesh out from underneath your sitting bones and lengthen up through the spine. Let the shoulders draw back and pull those ears back towards the wall behind you. And I want you to take your hands to your ribs, towards that outside of the ribs. You can have those thumbs kind of towards the back of the body and the fingertips towards the front. And this is going to give a nice tactile feel to our breathing practice and core practice as we warm up. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth nice and slow, emptying the breath, and just feel that breath funneling up and out as you feel the ribs drawing in, the back body drawing in, and then inhaling, you feel that expansion of the ribs moving out into the hands. And again, full exhalation. Maybe start to allow your eyes to close, so that you really start to feel the sensations in your body. Now, as you breathe, start to shift the hands around, bringing one hand to the front of the body, one hand to the back of the body, and feel the breath as it moves in all directions. We call this that 360 breath. So you feel the front, the back, east, west, north, and south. Feeling your breath moving in all directions. And slide the hands towards the front of the body, down towards that low belly, and really focusing on that full exhalation as you lift that low belly up and in, pulling the navel back towards the spine. Pause for a moment at the bottom of your exhale, gently hugging your muscles in. Feel yourself sit up nice and tall. And then keeping that containment as you inhale. So you're not fully relaxing the belly, but you're keeping that core awareness, that core engagement. And you can feel it with your hands. It's going to expand out a little bit, just like it will naturally, just not into this big open belly, but rather feeling that expansion all through the sides, the back, and the front. And you may notice as you start to use that mindful breath, you start to connect with the core, activating those deep core muscles that are also some of our breathing muscles. And this sets us up for our practice. Let's shift forward towards the hands and the knees. And now we'll explore that breath again through cat and cow, using the exhales to round the spine. And I encourage you to exhale out the mouth. Start to lift the navel towards the spine. And you can feel the ribs tucking up and in, the hip bones pulling up and in. As you come towards cow, let the tail lift and the belly drop. Exhale, round and hug the ribs in nice and tight. Full exhalation with a little pause, a little lift of the low belly. And then one more time, inhaling, and you can feel the spine move here. And now we'll come towards a flat back, a tabletop, right? And here in tabletop, pay attention to those ribs pulling in and the belly drawing back towards the spine. On an inhale, extend your right leg back so that your leg is about hip height and all 5 toes turn down towards the floor. Keep the hips and the shoulders square. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, lower your right knee right down, right alongside the left knee without touching the floor, and then send it back. So it just kind of lowers, just barely taps, and then extend it all the way back. Move with the breath, exhaling as you lower. Inhale to extend. Keep your crown of your head forward and keep your collarbone nice and broad. Really pressing nice and even through both hands. Try to keep that tabletop spine so you don't want any sway here in the back or rounding, but nice and long, and the belly is nice and firm up towards the spine. Great, let's do 3 more, nice and slow. Last one, reach it back behind you and hold it there. Spin your left shin out towards the side, keeping your left hand under your shoulder, reach your right arm up. Coming into this modified half moon. All right, take a moment to check your alignment. Make sure your shoulders, hip, and heel is aligned with one another. Your toes should be pointing right towards the side of the room. Belly pulling in nice and tight, knit the ribs in. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, press your foot down to the floor and stretch your pinkies or your fingers towards the front of your mat. Exhale to lift, squeezing your waistline in tight, and then place your foot down and push, arcing, lifting that left waistline up and in. Right, staying nice and firm here now, working right into the sides of the body. Nice work. We do 4 more here. Try to stay firm. Try not to rock side to side or forward and back. Keep your body stacked. Last one, you're going to finish reaching your fingertips towards the front of the mat as you press your pinky edge of your foot down to the floor. Start to flare the ribs up towards the sky and lean back here. Let the hips push forward, finding a little bit of an arcing back bend. Take one more big inhale, and we'll circle the arm. You can let that arm circle in front, out, and around. Just do that a couple more times. You can even let the head fall heavy down towards the floor. This can feel really nice for the right side of the neck and shoulders. Oof, that feels good. I need it. All right, stay with me. We're going to reach the fingertips towards the front. And then bring those hands down towards the floor, knees back underneath your hips. Let's curl the toes under and lift your hips up and back towards downward facing dog pose. Feet hip width apart and just pedal your heels. First, downward facing dog. Really think of lengthening up through the spine, tilting your tail high towards the sky. As you pedal the heels, just stretching down through the soles of the feet, down through the calf muscles. On your next inhale, you're going to come up onto your toes. You're going to lift your gaze forward, slowly shifting your shoulders over your wrist plank pose. Broaden the collarbones and lift the low belly up and in. As you exhale, bend the knees, just hover them above the floor, tilt the tail, and press back towards downward facing dog, pushing the floor away. As you inhale, come forward, really pushing through the toes. So drive through the feet, keep that low belly up and in, and broaden the collarbone as you come forward, shoulders over wrists. Pause, and then bend those knees, tilt the tail, press back, downward facing dog pose. 2 more times. Inhale as you come forward. Lifting, pushing off those feet. Exhale, bend the knee, tilt the tail, press back, downward facing dog. Last one, we'll come forward to plank pose. Holding plank, lift your gaze out in front of you so your spine is long. Option here to lower your knees if you need to. Stay with me as we hold this plank. Again, feet are active. Those heels are lifted right over your ball of your foot. And you spread the toes nice and wide as you push the floor away. Start to broaden the upper back. Lift the navel up towards the spine. And engage the glutes, squeezing those butt muscles nice and tight. Right, as we hug those muscles in tighter and tighter, you might notice you feel a little bit more lighter in the arms. Take one more big inhale, lift your gaze in front of you. Slow, long exhale all the way to the floor, pull the elbows in by your sides. Press the tops of your feet down to the floor. Engage your legs by lifting the kneecaps up. Elbows pull back by your sides. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, lengthen the spine and lower down. Chin tucking in. Inhaling, coming up. Let that chin stay low. Exhale, lengthen as you lower down. This way you're not leading with the neck. Inhale, come up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Squeeze the glutes to protect your low back. And exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, come up through all fours. Round your spine and stretch your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose stretch. Actively reaching your fingertips towards the front of the mat as you send your hips back and down towards your heels. Inhale, come up to all fours. Find that nice flat tabletop. Tuck your ribs in, belly to the spine. Left leg reaches back, even through the hands. Exhale, lower that left knee down. And inhale, stretch it back. So same as before, moving with the breath. So there's no rush here. Make sure you're flexing the ankle and spread the toes. All 5 toes point straight down towards your mat. Making sure that left hip is even with the right. So try not to let those hips shift around too much. Great, 2 more here. Stay with that nice strong flat back. The next time you reach your leg out, you can hold it out here. Spin your right shin out to the side like a little kickstand and reach your left arm up. Reach up, start to stack your left shoulder over your right, your left hip over your right. Pull your tail under, reaching your tail down towards your left heel and lengthen your crown of your head towards the front of your mat. Take a big inhale, exhale, press the foot down, reach the arm over. I meant to say inhale. Now exhale, lift the leg, lift the arm, coming to that half moon. Squeeze, and then reach, arc. Lift that right waistline high, left waistline high. Inhale, and exhale. Like you're pushing that floor away with both the hand and the knee. When you start to feel all those little muscles along the side of the body, the side of the hip and the waistline working. Last one, we'll press the foot to the floor, stretch your fingertips towards the front, and then circle the arm. The arm comes down in front of your body and then back around. And your elbow can bend here if that feels good to you. That releases tension, and then let that head fall heavy towards the floor. Yeah. That feels so good. Last little circle of the arms. And returning the hand down to the floor under your shoulder. Knee back underneath your hip. Curl the toes under and back to your downward facing dog pose. Again, spreading through your fingers nice and wide. A little pedal of the heels. Start to straighten your arms. All right, you ready for a little more core again? You're going to come up onto the toes, round the spine like a cat as you come forward to plank. Shoulders over your wrists, broaden the collarbone and lift that low belly. Exhale, bend the knees, tilt the tail back to your downward facing dog, heels reach to the floor. Again, inhale, roll the spine forward, hollowing out the abdomen. Inhaling, exhale, bend the knees, tilt the tail, press it back, downward facing dog, heels reach to the floor. Again, push through the feet. So coming onto those toes, push forward to your plank. Exhale, bend the knees, down dog. Last one, we come into plank and we hold our plank pose. Finding that sturdy plank, stiff as a board. Remember, if you need to lower your knees, you can. And if you lower the knees, you want to keep your body at an angle, keeping the shoulders, hips, and knees in line. So wherever you are, you're pushing the floor away. This time I want you to focus into your index finger and your thumb. Press them down to the floor and then feel it fire up through the front of your pectoral muscles. Can you feel your low belly pulling up and in? Squeeze those leg muscles, lifting those quads, lift the knees. Let the gaze come out in front of you. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, super slow, one piece all the way to the floor, elbows tucking in tight. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lengthen to lower down. Really pressing down through the tops of the feet. Inhale, come up, squeeze your elbows in tight. Exhale, lengthen as you lower down. Inhale as you come up. And last one, you're gonna lower down. Here, you're gonna take the arms right by your sides. All right, you're gonna bring the palms there by your sides. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, press the tops of the feet down and hold. Inhale, lift a little bit more. Exhale, press the tops of the feet down, squeeze the glutes. Holding here, one more round of breath, inhaling. Spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, ground through the tops of the feet. And lower all the way down. So that's there to help you to really activate the muscles along the spine. Push up through all fours. Round your spine like cat. Oh, that always feels so good after that nice work. And stretch your hips back towards your heels. Inhale, look forward towards the front of your mat, coming up to all fours. Curl your toes under, lift those hips up and back. Downward facing dog pose. So take a moment to look back at your feet. Your feet should be about parallel to one another. And now I want you to take your heels over towards the left, and the toes turn towards the right side of your mat, and you'll explore a little bit of a twisted downward facing dog here. So you should feel a nice sensation, maybe in your legs or in your side body, wherever you're tight. Now let's take it nice and slow to the other side. Keep pressing your left hand down to the floor as those heels fall towards the right. And then inhale, come back through the center. And then we'll take a slow walk with your feet all the way up towards the front of the mat. Coming into a ragdoll forward fold, let your feet be about hip width apart. Bend your knees a lot here. Release your crown of your head, chin to chest, and grab for opposite elbows. Take a moment to sway your torso gently side to side. Shake your head, yes, no, make sure you're really letting go. And just take a big old inhale, slow exhale out the mouth. Again, just letting go of whatever it is that you don't need, whatever it is that's weighing you down. Just let it release off the back of your neck and shoulders all the way towards the floor. Now release your fingertips down to the ground. Inhale, lift the spine halfway. Gaze to the front of the room. Exhale, fold, slide those fingertips down the shin. Press through the heels, lift the hips. Release the head, chin to chest. Again, inhale, lift up halfway. Little bend in the knees, long spine. Belly pulls in tight, especially as you exhale and fold. Pull the navel up and in. One more time, inhale, coming up halfway. Exhaling, empty the breath. Releasing your crown of your head. Inhale to chair, sink your hips low. Reach your arms up. And stand up, hands to your heart, ground down through your feet. Now just feel that weight shift down into your feet. Rock a little forward and back, a little side to side, really spreading all four corners of your feet out onto the floor. Right, a little softness in the knees. Maybe a little bounce here. And then feel the hips nice and neutral, lengthening your tail down while lifting up through the front of the body. Feeling that lift, again, that low belly lifting up and in, navel pulls back towards the spine. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, circle sweep your arms out and up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, lift up halfway to lengthen. Step your right foot back. Big step back. And you can lower your knee all the way down to the floor. Bring your hands up to your knee. Let your tail lengthen down to the ground as you lift your chest, your heart. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, elbows wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And inhale, sweep your fingertips forward and up. Exhale, elbows wide. Open the chest, open the heart. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Frame your front foot with your hands. Curling those back toes under. Lift that back knee up so you're firming up in that front quad. And lift the left leg up towards the sky. One-legged dog. Explore opening the hips, maybe bending the knee, maybe circling that knee all around. And if flipping your dog is in your practice, this could be a good time to get playful with that. But you do you. You listen to your body. As we get ready to finish this up, you're going to start to square your hips, square your shoulders towards the floor. Take a big inhale. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your left hand and step right between your hands. Let's pivot the back heel down to the floor, cartwheel your arms up to warrior two. Gazing out over the left shoulder, lengthen down through the tail. Relax those arms. Keep reaching your knee right out over your toe. Flip the palms up towards the sky and feel how the shoulders can relax down the back and the length up through the crown of the head. Reverse your warrior, reaching your left arm up and back. Right arm releases down. Keep reaching your left knee towards the front. Keep reaching it so it centers right over the middle of the toes. Inhale as you come back up through warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Elbow comes to the knee as you sweep the right arm over. Let your shoulder lean back, turn your head up, tucking your chin right into your right underarm. Spiral the heart open. One more big inhale as you push those hips forward, pulling your tail underneath you. And then inhaling, coming back up to warrior two. Gaze out over your left hand. We're going to pivot on your back foot to a lunge here, reaching both hands towards the front of your mat. Bend your right knee just a little bit and start to pull that right hip forward and really hugging that right glute in, and then pull that left glute in and back. Right, you lift your gaze forward, lengthen down through your tail. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale, standing or stepping up to chair. Hands to your heart, sink your hips back and down. Reach your arms up and stand up. Hands to your heart, ground down through your feet. Nice work. Second side, inhale, circle sweep your arms out and up. Lift the heart, little back bend. Exhale, fold, hinging at your hips. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, lifting up halfway, a little bend in the knees, stepping the left leg back, that long, low lunge. Slowly, softly lower the knee to the floor. Take the hands to the knees and let the tail lengthen down. Then go lifting your chest away from your thighs. Shoulders relax down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Lifting up out of the hips. Exhale, elbows wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then inhale, circle sweep your arms forward and up. Exhale, elbows wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Full exhalation. Inhale, reach it forward and up. And exhale. Hands return to the floor. Curl the back toes under. Lift the knee, firm the quad. Getting those hands under your shoulders, you're going to lift that right leg up and back. Open your hip, bend the knee, circle the knee, option again to flip the dog. Great, next exhalation, you can bring that right foot right between your hands. Pivot your back heel down to the floor, warrior two. Feel those hips nice and even, right to left. Lengthen down through the tail and lift up through the navel. Flip the palms up towards the sky, relax the shoulders. Reverse your warrior, reaching your right knee towards the front, opening up that right side body. Inhale back through warrior two. Stay strong and firm in your legs. Slight elbow to right knee. Side angle pose. Reach the left fingertips towards the front of the mat. Turn the palm down and turn your gaze up. Tuck your chin right into that left underarm. And then reach, pressing that left heel. Feel the side body get it longer. Next, inhale, you come back up to warrior two, gazing out over your right shoulder, pivoting on your left foot, reach your left arm to the front of the mat, coming into a lunge. Right on the ball of your foot, right heel is actively lifting up over the ball of the foot. And can you bend your left knee, keep your heart lifted? Again, feel that power in the legs as you pull that right hip back and in. That left hip pulls forward and in like you're plugging your femurs right into the socket. All right, let's reach towards the front. Get ready for chair. Stay low here as you step that left foot forward. Nice and solid. Pull your belly in tight. Reach your arms up as you inhale. Exhale to stand. Hands to your heart. Ground down through your feet. So just settling into that strength with ease. Next, inhale. Circle, sweep your arms out and up. Big inhale as you lift your heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift your spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, lift up halfway. Little bend in your knees. You're going to step your right foot back. Big step back. Inhale, crescent lunge, sweeping both arms up towards the sky. Keep squaring those hips forward, active right on the ball of your foot, and then challenge yourself. Maybe you bend your right knee a little bit. Try to see if you can get a nice 90-degree angle in that left thigh. And now open up to warrior two. Lengthening up through the crown of the head, relax your shoulders. And then we'll come into a goddess squat, so we're turning those toes out, hands to your heart. So toes turn out towards the side of the room. You keep reaching your knees out over your toes as you lengthen down through your tail. Inhale, reach your arms out nice and wide, crossing your right arm over your left. Twist your arms up like a vine and lift the elbows in front of your shoulders. Chin slightly tucking down as you feel that nice opening through the back of the neck and shoulders. Now we're going to do a little pulse here. You're going to come down a little, dropping the elbows down, and then you're going to come up a little, lifting those elbows a little higher than your shoulders, and then down. So just staying a little up, a little down, finding that little hot spot where you feel those legs. You start to feel that heat and tension down in the legs. One more. Inhale as you come up. And exhale, sink it down. Reach those knees out over the toes. Release your arms. Inhale, circle your arms up. Reach up. How are those legs feeling? Stay strong here. Strength with ease. Press through your feet as you come up. Hands to your hips. Turn your toes forward. Maybe even slightly in, just a tiny bit. Inhale as you lift your chest. Elbows reach towards the back of the room. Exhale, fold, hinging at your hips. Release your crown of your head to the floor, hands to the floor, chin to your chest. Just shake your head a little yes, a little no. Making sure you're letting go any tension in the neck and the shoulders. Pressing nice and strong down through your feet. On an inhale, you're going to lift your spine halfway, centering your hands underneath your shoulders. So if you need a block, put a block underneath your hands, or maybe you come towards your fingertips, tenting your fingertips to the floor. Place your left hand underneath your nose and reach your right arm up towards the sky. Bend your left knee. Release your fingertips down to the floor. Second side, reaching your left arm up, bending your right knee. So I'm mirroring you now. If that is confusing, I apologize. And now go ahead and release your hand down to the floor. Let's go ahead and slowly start to bend both of our knees, sinking our hips down. Turning the toes out. Reach your arms up, coming into your squat. Press down through your feet as you rise up. Float those arms back down by your sides. Turn back towards the front of your mat. Pivoting on your back foot. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Get nice and long. Exhale, elbow crossing over the left knee. And you can draw your palms together, coming into this nice twisted crescent lunge. Keep firming up through your right thigh. Now if bringing your elbow to your knee doesn't work, you can always place your right hand underneath your shoulder. You also have the option to drop your right knee down to the floor and explore this twist in a more gentler way. Take one more big inhalation. Exhalation, bringing your hands down to the floor. Look forward towards the front of your mat and step towards the front of the mat, coming to that chair again. So staying grounded through your feet and stand up, pressing through your heels, lift your heart. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold, hinging from your hips. Inhale as you come up halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, lift up halfway to lengthen. Step your left leg back, big step back. Inhale as you find your warrior two, pivoting your back heel to the floor. Keep reaching your right knee towards the front. Create that length down through the tail. And then we pivot those feet, finding that goddess squat here. So I'm just going to turn to face you. All right, so toes are out. You can bring your hands to your heart, get nice and wiggly into your legs, and then reach your arms out nice and wide. Second side, the left arm comes over the right as you twist the arms up to eagle arms. Press the fingers into the palms, lift the elbows in front of your shoulders. Keep lengthening down through the tail and lift up through that low belly. And now we'll do little pulses as you lower down. And just like a little tiny elevator, you come up just a little bit. Again, staying in that zone where you feel the heat in the legs. So we're never coming all the way up or too far down. And just keep doing your best to reach the knees out over the toes. This is going to activate the outer glute muscles. These tend to be sleepy muscles. All right, last one. We come down low. We hold it here. Breathe. Stay connected with your breath. Release your arms. Stay in your legs. Reach your arms up. See, can you get a little bit lower? Oh, feel those legs. Take one more big inhale. Exhale to stand. This time you're going to interlace your fingers behind your back. Turn your toes to pivot forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold. Hinging at your hips. Crown of the head to the floor. Knuckles fall over the head just like gravity. Take it there. Now, if you're really tight here in the upper pectoral muscles, sometimes it's around the shoulders, you might want to bend the elbows and just let the knuckles come towards your low back. You're still going to get a great stretch that way. So again, do what's right for you. Just always listening to your options. Listening to your body, knowing every day is different. Great. Release your fingertips down to the floor. A little different this time. You're going to turn the toes out. We're going to go a little side to side. And it's up to you how low you need to go till you feel that right stretch and that right sensation in your body. And really use those legs, the strength of the legs, to push you side to side. Let yourself explore. And then as things start to feel even, you'll come back towards the center, coming into that nice squat, toes turning out, hips nice and low. You're just going to take one hand to each knee. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Pull that low belly in nice and tight. Open your arms out nice and wide. And now turning back towards the front of the mat into that crescent lunge. Hands to your heart as you lean forward, coming to the twist. You're going to hook the elbow across your knee. Keep pulling that your right hip back, left hip forward. Keep firming that quad. We don't want the knee or the hips to droop here. We want a sense of lifting here. Especially if you're really flexible, you really want to think of lifting and creating more strength and structure around the hips, around the joints. Okay, let's take an exhale. Let's take it down, hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way to your belly. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale, lower down. Interlace the hands behind your back. And inhale, lift your heart, lift your chest. Exhale, lower all the way down. All right, we're going to explore a little twist here on the floor, letting go of the interlace of your hands and spread your arms out nice and wide so they're just about shoulder height. You're going to take your gaze over towards your right hand, just letting your left cheek fall down towards the floor. So stay with me because I know this can get tricky because you want to see what happens. So I'm going to do my best to really use my words as I guide you through this. Okay, so you're going to take now the right hand in front of your shoulder and you're going to roll onto your left side of your body. And this is going to be a a shoulder opener. So as you roll onto that left side of your body, you'll feel that left shoulder open. Try to let the head relax here. If you need to add a little cushion under your head, you can. So you might stack your feet. Some of you might want to take it a little bit deeper, taking your foot back behind you. Maybe you reach that right arm up and reach your right arm back behind you, sliding either behind your back or reaching for that left hand and interlacing your hands behind your back. Whew. Try to let the head relax here. Notice what can you do, sometimes a little rocking of the head to really remind the muscles all along the neck and shoulders to relax. Connect with some nice deep breaths. Feel the sensations in your body. Right, now let's slowly roll back onto our belly, nice and slow. Shift your gaze over towards your left hand. Let your right cheek and ear rest down to the floor. Now we're flat on our belly. Take your left hand in front of your left shoulder. A little push with the hand as you roll onto your right side of your body. You can stack the foot. Let the head be heavy. And then option again as before. You can bring the foot back behind you. Rolling those hips back, that left hip back more. So you get that right sensation for you. And this side can feel really different. Just going to check in with your body. You might bring that left hand, arm back behind you. Try to relax the neck, the shoulder. Slowly come back onto your back or belly, onto your belly. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Push up through all fours. Stretch your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Deep breath here. You might take your hands back by your feet, turning the palms up towards the sky. Let the back of the neck and shoulders relax. Right, now take the hands underneath your shoulders and slowly push your way up. Let's cross the ankles and sit our hips back. A little something to release the hips here. You're going to take your feet a little bit wider than hips width, and we're going to let the knees rock side to side. Massaging into the glutes, right? So as you go side to side, you can mush into those glutes, right? Breaking up. If you've been doing lots of squats and some of the other workouts, a lot of us have been really trying to stay busy. So it's good sometimes to slow down and just do a little yoga, connect with the breath, and let go of that tension that we build up in our body. Whether it's from a day's work, sometimes it's just sitting at a desk, sometimes it's a big workout. All right, next time you let your knees rock over towards the right, here we're going to come into a hurdler lunge. You get a hurdler shape here. So lift the hips and turn your body so that you're facing directly over that right shin, right? And that left knee is bent like this. So this is one option. If you want to take it a little deeper, you can extend your left leg back coming into that pigeon, right? And if you're in this hurdler position, you can start to come forward as well. Ideally, we want both hips even towards the floor. So try not to let all your weight rock over towards the right. Right? If you've got a big gap underneath your right hip, especially if you're doing a pigeon pose, you want to fill that space up with a little extra padding with the blanket or block. So it's good to get creative when using those props. Give yourself a nice, easy breath. We did some really great strengthening in our standing poses today. Get that core strength. And so it's nice to just slow it down and give those hips a little time to open. Okay, let's come all the way back up. Turn back towards the front. And then we'll rock those knees side to side. And then you can feel that rotation, that internal rotation of your hips. You just let the hips and shoulders go with you, and then we'll go to the second side. So now that right leg can either go straight back into that pigeon, or again, you can turn into that hurdler shape, right? And then explore that fold forward. If your hips are tight, take it easy. Whatever you did on the other side, I want you to always think of trying to do the same on the other side. So, again, feeling the hips are even, filling up the gap if there's any gap underneath that left hip. Great, and then we'll slowly come up. We're gonna come back to that windshield wiper, that low squat, right? We're gonna, this time I want you to try to think of keeping your two sitting bones grounded and then start to rock the knees side to side. So you might not go as far here, right, of a reach with those knees, because I want you to try to keep both sitting bones down on the floor. But what you might feel is a little bit more of that tension as we start to work into those deeper hip joints. And you can feel that internal rotation. For some of us, that internal rotation can be really tight. For me, it's all those internal rotations. And then we're going to explore that external rotation. So now we'll find cobblers or bound angle. So drawing your soles of your feet together. Sit up nice and tall, lengthening up through your spine and fold forward. Keep reaching those hips back and down. If you like, you can relax or crown your head down towards your toes. And so for this next part, I'm going to use my couch as a prop, and you might be able to use the side of your bed if that's handy. And if none of this is handy for you, you can just do this with your feet on the floor, okay, and staying just flat on your mat. But we're going to come onto our back, and we're going to prepare for a bridge pose with your feet on, again, either on the floor, or if you've got a little lift here like I do, again, a couch or a bed, you can put your feet on there. And then arms come by your sides. We're going to inhale. We're going to come up and then slowly lower down before the hips come all the way to the floor. You're going to press through your feet and inhale, lift up again. We'll do that a few more times. You can feel that nice articulation of the spine. So try not to rush this movement, but really enjoy it. Oh, feels so good on my back. Can feel where all the little tight spots are, so I just move slow. Sometimes I insert a couple extra breaths there. And then on that last one, you're going to lower all the way down. And then you're going to bring your legs to rest on top of your little surface here. I like to get myself set up so that my knees are over my hips. This is just like doing legs up the wall if you've done that in a yoga class before. However, oftentimes I feel like in, if you live in the Boston area, you probably have a small home, so there's not a lot of free space on the wall. But if you can't get your legs up the wall, go for it. This can be a really great way to calm the nervous system down. So just let your breath go. Let go of controlling the breath. And allow the breath to happen naturally. Whatever that might be for you. Let go of holding on to the muscles. Allow gravity to release your hips to the floor. Release the weight of gravity down. And as you lay here, just listening to your breath, feeling the sensations in your body. And observing the movement of the mind without getting caught up in its thoughts, stories, or to-do lists. But just simply noticing the mind. Maybe even start to notice the little spaces between your thoughts. And lingering in those spaces for just a little bit longer. And taking one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. And I like to leave you here in this moment. And I recommend you stay as long as you can. Maybe you even take a nap. But for now, I like to salute to the light within you, the light within me, and the light within all living beings. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.